Wait, Miss, what paper is that?
Okay, this is section 6.2, and 6.2, guys, is talking about the properties of parallelograms. There is 5 chapters. There are 5 not 5 chapters. There are 5 properties that we have to know, okay? The first thing we need to know, it's what's on top. You know, this right here. If you have a highlighter, highlight it. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides. So it's 2 pairs of parallel sides. You know, this is very important right here. Now, there's 4 more properties that we need to know. The first one is opposite sides are congruent, okay? So opposite sides are congruent. So you have to remember that if you have tick marks, you notice that this is a tick mark, this is a tick mark, those 2 pieces are equal. And then GH, see this 2, this one, and this one, those 2 segments are equal, okay? So opposite sides are equal. And then the third property, the first one was a definition. These are the properties. The second property is opposite angles, like for example here, opposite angles are congruent, okay? Let's highlight that because that's important. So opposite angles, like for example, F, single congruency mark, is congruent to H. Okay, so if F is 20, H is 20. If F is 50, H is 50. Whatever F is, H is the same thing. And then G, and J, they're both congruent also, okay? Third property, consecutive angles are supplementary. As you know, consecutive is what? What is consecutive supposed to be?
Consecutive?
Any of you remember what consecutive means?
Repeated?
Like repeated? Well, not really. Consecutive, like you are consecutive. Your house is consecutive to another house. You are consecutive to somebody. Next to, yes. So it's next to each other. So in this case, we have angle F. Notice that angle F. Let me just, this right here. Let me just point to it.
And angle J would be like consecutive to angle H?
Angle J, yes, consecutive to angle H. That is right. So these 2 angles are supplementary, right? And also H to G, these 2 angles are supplementary. They add up to 180. G with F, they're consecutive. So these 2 equal to 180. F with J, yes, consecutive, equal to 180. So every time you have 2 angles that are right next to each other, in parallelograms, they're supplementary, equal to 180. Okay? So if I tell you, angle J, it's 100. Which is 80? F or H. Both of them are 80. What if I tell you angle F, it's 50 degrees? What is the measurement of angle G? F is 50. 130. That is right. Okay, so it's just right next to consecutive is supplementary. And the last property that we need to know is diagonals. Diagonals, as we learned in 6.1, diagonals is from non-consecutive vertices, which like from F to H, they're vertices, they're not right next to each other. God bless you. So diagonals bisect each other. What does it mean by bisecting each other? Cutting in half, right? They're cutting each other in half. So here, FH cuts GH in half, and GJ, it's cutting FH in half. So they're both cut each other in half, and that makes the pieces FP, so let me just point to that, FP, this piece, is congruent to PH, and GP is congruent to PJ. Okay, when they cut each other in half, they, bisect each other. Okay, now let's see, we learned the properties. Let's move down to number 1 and number 2. Okay, problem number 1, it says find the measurement and justify your answer. What do you think about 1? AB, how much is AB? that is 10 centimeters, right? Don't forget to put the unit, 10 centimeters. And let's justify it. Why is AB 10 centimeters?
Because it's the opposite
The opposite
side.
side.
Opposite sides are congruent. Yes, so I'm sorry, bear with me on this because, you know, opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides congruent. Great. Okay, let's look at number 2. Okay, look at number 2. How about angle D? How much is angle D?
70?
70.
70, that is right. Angle D is 70 degrees. Okay, how come it's 70 degrees?
Because 110 minus.
There you go. Because of the property that says consecutive angles are congruent, right? Consecutive angles are not congruent. What? Consecutive angles are supplementary. That's right, supplementary. Not congruent, but supplementary. Okay. Number 3, yes. Good point. How did you get 70? Well, since this right here, this is what we look for, right? See, both A and D supposed to be equal to 180. So it's going to be 180 minus 110 from angle A, and that gives you that 70. Because they're supplementary. Yes. Okay. Next, problem number 3. In problem number 3, it says find the measurement of angle of segment ML. Okay, well, let me look at ML. Let me look at the picture here. 12 ML. Yes. ML is equal to 12. How do you know that's equal to 12?
Because ours is the opposite congruent.
That is right. Opposite sides are congruent, right? So it's 12 meters. Good. How about LP? Anybody knows what LP is?
10.
LP, it's 10. That is right. Because what? Opposite sides congruent also, right? It's the same as MN. Right? So far, so good. Number 5, this is the angle LPN. Okay, first of all, let me find out what angle is that. L starts at here and then goes to P and then M. So it's this angle here. What angle is this? 62 is correct. How come it's 62?
Because the, what's it called?
How do you call that property?
Opposite angles.
It starts with the A. It's all
Angle.
alternate interior angles. That is right. Since we know that it's a parallelogram, this side and this side, they're both parallel. So that makes the angles to be alternate interior, and therefore they're congruent. So angle LPM equals what? 62 degrees. There you go. Okay, number 6. LN. How much is LN? Everything. 18. How come that is equal to 18? 9 is the same as QN, right? Because diagonals bisect each other, so it's 9 plus 9, and that is 18 meters. Great. Number 7. 7, it's from M to L to N. Okay. That is equal to what? 32. How come that is equal to 32? By alternate interior angles, since these two sides, are parallel, then by alternate interior, that is equal to 32. That is right. So this is equals to 32. There you go. And last one, segment QN. We know that one, right? How much is that? That is just 9 because these two pieces were congruent. So that is 9 meters. 9 meters. And that's it. Any questions about applying the properties? Just basic numbers. No? Okay, now let's get into applying properties, but now with algebra. Okay, no big deal. We can do it. Okay, so number 9, CD. Okay, CD is this one. What do we know about CD? 4W plus 8. What about CD? Can we use that segment with another segment? What can we say about EF? What can we say about EF? They would be congruent, right? Because the opposite sides are congruent. So we can say for number 9, we can say 4W plus 8 equals to 5W plus 1. And then let's solve for W. So we subtract, first combine the W's, subtract 4W, and even, the door interruptions are going to come in the video, okay? And then subtract 1. So how much is W?
7.
That is 7. So W equals 7, okay? But they want the length of CD. So what do I do with that?
30.
Plug it in. There you go. So you plug in the 7 into CD, okay? So here is going to be 4 times 7, and then plus 8. So how much is that? 28 plus 8? 36? That's right, 36. Okay, so this is 36. Okay, let me pause it. Okay, in problem number 10, it says find the measurement of EF.
She gave me the wrong one.
Wrong one? Okay. EF. How much is going to be EF? They want me to find EF. It should be the same because opposite sides are congruent. So if CD is 36, EF must be 36 also. So they're both the same. That's right. Okay, next. The measurement of angle F. Okay, I need to know.
Or do we put
No, because it's the length of a segment. It's just the number. Good question. Yes. Okay, number 11. Measurement of angle F. What do we know about F and E, those two angles?
the sum of both of them is supplementary?
There you go. Both angles are supplementary. That's right. So if they're both supplementary, we can say, well, let me see. Let me erase this so that I can have some space. Okay. Okay, supposed to be erasing. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just move it a little bit that way. Okay. So here, I'm going to have 9z minus 12 plus 3z equals to, the sum of those two should be equal to what? 180, right? Okay, so let's find the z. 9z plus 3z, how much is that? 9z plus 3z. That is 12z. Okay, so it's 12z minus 12 equals to 180, okay? So next, what do we do next?
Subject 12.
We add, right? Because it's the opposite, right? So we add 12. So add 12 to 180. 192. Okay, so it's 12z equals 192. Good. And then we divide by 12. Divide by 12. So z equals to 16. Okay, 16. Thank you, Jasmine. Great. So z is equal to 16. Now let me come back because z is equal to 16. If I want the measurement of angle F, okay, and the measurement of angle F and E, I need to plug in the 6, right? It was 6.
48.
48. You already got it? Okay. So this was 3 times, it was 16, right? So that is equal to 48. So angle F is 48. That is 48 degrees. Okay, and how about angle E with the degree symbol?
Same.
Is not the same, it's supplementary, right? So we can just do 180 minus 48, if you want to do it like that. And that is 132. You could also just plug it in and then find the answer, okay? But if you feel confident that that's 48 is going to be right, then just subtract it, 132. And that's the answer. Any questions about the front side of the assignment? So far, so good? Okay, now let's go ahead and scroll down to the bottom.